Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This video is going to share with you the simplest shortcut to get a 3-part corset cup. So this method is going to save you some time and energy drafting patterns from scratch, and it actually works. So this is me. My name is Ini. I was a self-taught fashion designer for the longest time before I won my scholarship to become a professional fashion designer, and I'm here to help you with your sewing journey. So why don't you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and please follow me on Instagram at Ini_Vogue sewing tutorials. Without saying too much, let's just get started with the tutorial. So this is a regular bra cup that you can buy at any store, and you just need to get the size of the person's bust size. So it's also important to create a dart inside the cup just to give it some added fullness. After which, you just take your cello tape or your paper tape, whatever you call it, and you just start placing it all over this cup like this, placing them side by side so that there is no space in between. So just do all that around this cup till you have covered the cup fully. Once you're done with that, just trim off all the excess. Mind you, you're trimming off only the cello tape, and you're not touching the cup. So once that is completed, you just need to take your time and create the style lines you would like to see on your bra cup, however way you want it to be. You know, in a 3-part corset cup, you have one big one going all around from this one side to the other side, then you have another line at the bottom part. So just design this the way you want it to come out. And once that is done, just carefully take out the cello tape, because by this time it would have formed as one, and that's the reason why I said don't give any space while you are lining up the tapes. So just take it out as one and you have something that looks like this. So once you've carefully taken it out, you just need to cut out on those lines and you now have your patterns. Like, this is going to serve as the patterns you're going to work with. One very important thing to do before you cut out the bottom part is to label it. Please do not forget to label the bottom parts and the top parts of these patterns so that you don't get confused. If you get confused, if you fail to label this and you start joining and you mix them up, I promise you, you're going to have a very funny shape at the end. So take this step as very important. So now you can cut it out and you can be sure that you're not going to mix them up. So after that, just get the fabric you'd like to work with and size the patterns on it on a fold, of course, because you're going to get 2 pieces each of this pattern, because the body obviously has 2 busts and you need 2 of this. So place it on a fold and interface this fabric. So there are different ways to go about this. Some people might use a laminate foam, some people might even use bra cups, but in everything you do, just make sure you are attaching stay, at least one line of stay, that's a piece of stay to the fabric. But because I want to use the stay as the interface to thicken the cup, because when I do this also on the lining, it's going to be thicker, I used about 4 lines, that's 4 pieces of cotton stay to interface this fabric. So after attaching it with my steam iron, I just cut out the excess, then I'm going to go ahead and cut out the patterns. So all I need to do is to place this fabric on a fold, then place all the patterns and cut out. So by the time you're doing this, the papers will feel sticky, of course, because of the chemicals on the paper tape. So just take your time and open them up. So this is what they look like after placing them on the fabric. And don't forget to add allowance, yes, because you've cut out the bra cup, and if you want to join them, if you don't add some allowance, it's going to become smaller. So depending on your own preference, because some people's busts are fuller than the bra cups you see at this market, you can add 1 inch or even 1.5 inches above to cover for added coverage. So half of an inch all around the papers are just fine. So you can add half of an inch all around for the joining, but at the top part, like I said, depending on your preference and how covered you want the cups to be, you can add at the top, just following the shape as you can see it. So this is how it's going to look, and I'm going to add half of an inch on the bottom patterns as well, so that when I'm joining it to the top part and joining to the sides of the corset, it's not going to become shorter. So with all this done, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out every piece like this and show you what it looks like. So after cutting them, this is what they look like, and I'm going to take out the paper tape and transfer that label on the bra cups like this as well, because you don't want to make any mistake when you're joining these things. So in order to start joining them, I'm going to take out the paper tape from them and start joining them accordingly. So this is me placing them to reveal the right sides before I start joining them. So make sure the arrows you made for both bottom parts align and you're stitching from the top to the bottom. So I'll simply repeat the process for the both cups, the bottom part of the both cups, then I'll give it a notch so that I can iron it properly. So you want to take note of how I'm giving this notch because this is just my own preference for notching, and I feel like this method makes it possible for the fabric to really open up when you're ironing. So do whatever works for you, but make sure you're giving this a very nice press because I'm going to take this to my steam iron now and steam press it open. So also ensure you're making use of a very good burst ball because this is going to affect the outcome of your ironing. So this is me after ironing and you can see how open this cups are looking. So it looks really nice on the outside and on the inside. So once the bottom part of the cups are ready, all you need to do is to join the top part to the bottom part, and please make sure you are joining the top of the cup to the midpoint of the cup. Don't make the mistake of joining the top of the cup to the bottom of that the bottom of that the one we just joined. Okay, so I bent the top part to get the midpoint and I'm going to place it like this, notch it like this, and take it to my machine to sew. So if you've done everything correctly, you should have it aligning like this. So despite the fact that I even labeled, I still made the mistake of joining the top part to the bottom part of the cup. So please don't make that mistake. I had to loosen this because can you see that label where I had the D? I made the mistake of joining it to that point. And if you see how funny this thing was looking, I was just wondering what went wrong until I turned it on the inside and I saw that I made that terrible mistake. So this is the reason why you have to label, because you don't want to be confused because that's also going to waste your time. So I went to join it at the down. This is just me trying to show you. So I just removed it and reattached it correctly. So when you're done attaching the top part, you also have to notch it, take it to your machine and iron properly. So this is me just trimming off the stay, that's the white part you can see, so that everything looks in place, so that when I'm joining, I will not be confused. So this is what it looks like. At this point, it's up to you to decide what you want to do next. You can decide to cage the lining part of your cup, or you can use your bra cup to add some fullness to it. So this is the reason why I said at the top part, if you want more coverage, you can add to the top pattern, because like this, in this case, I'll have to trim off the bra cup if I'm using this cup for an actual dress. So basically, it's not difficult. You can just pin up the cups like this, the cup to the cover you just made, and you stitch it down. So now I have to reduce this obviously because by the time I'm turning with my lining, that part is going to be disturbing the whole process. So I have to trim it off so that the cup stays inside the cover. Also, you can also do without this cup, like I said, because at the time I was stitching this cover, it was already thick because I used 4 layers of cotton SD, which already makes it thick like a light wadding. And by the time I do the same thing on the lining, it's going to be thick enough. All you just need to do, especially if the person is not busty, you can probably use it that way, or you can just cage the lining and it's going to give the cup the structure you expect. So this is what it looks like, and this was the way I created the cup that you can see on this dress I made. It's also very easy and it saves time. If you learned something new from this video, I would really appreciate if you just give this video a thumbs up, and please follow the sewing tutorials page on Instagram.